What up, YouTube? You know who it is. This is Jon Snow speaking from Jon Snow Sports and Fitness, and today I'm going to answer a few email questions. Let's get started. First email. John, what are your thoughts on Extreme Rules last night? The results, what would you have done differently? Okay, well, I'm only going to cover only the important matches, because all that matters are the main events, the marketable matches, and some of the undercard's good, but I'm going to stick to what matters. Alright, first things first, I want to say that they made the right decision having Bray Wyatt go over on John Cena. That was a great decision. Bray Wyatt he's lightning in a bottle as a heel. This is what you want. These are the kind of promos you want. The physique's bad. He's got a horrible physique, but you can overcome that in this business. You can overcome that in the wrestling business. And I've noticed that Bray Wyatt has an uncanny ability to cut promos. He's got the it factor. He's got everything you could possibly want for a top heel. There were some rumors that they plan on turning him face. I think that would be a big mistake. I would keep him as a heel probably his whole career. But we'll take it one step at a time, and he's off to a good start going over Cena. The second match that I want to cover is, I'm going to go over the Shield versus Evolution. I thought this was the right decision as well by the WWE, and it was even better to have Batista take the fall, to have Batista to do the job to Roman Reigns, because Batista is getting ready to go promote Guardians of the Galaxy, and he's going to take time off, as we all know. But I agreed with it. It's great to have Roman Reigns as a shining star. It's obvious to me that he's big time. He's going to really do big things in this business, and he's a future top face in the WWE. So I agreed with that. Another thing I agreed with, I'm not going to cover this much because this is the mid-card, and I don't cover mid-card wrestling. I cover the important stuff. No disrespect. Don't take my comments out of context. Now, I agree with Bad News Barrett going over on Big E Langston. Apparently the WWE wants us to see that the Intercontinental title is the second most important title in their company right now. And it's the right decision to put it on Bad News Barrett. Now, for the main event, I also would have had Kane lose to Daniel Bryan. Kane's not really a believable threat to beat Daniel Bryan right now. Everyone knows that the company is not going to take a title off Bryan after he overcame such obstacles at WrestleMania. So that was the right decision. So that covers your email. Here's another email I'm going to read. It says, okay, John, what were your thoughts on the San Antonio Spurs Dallas Mavericks series? To be honest with you, my thoughts on the series, I was pretty surprised that Dallas was able to hang in there for 7 games. They had a lot of key role players step up. Jose Calderon stepped up. Vince Carter made a buzzer beater, game-winning shot. Dirk Nowitzki was his usual self. He continued to make key, crucial shots and be a matchup nightmare. Also, they've got an incredible coach, Rick Carlisle, but other than that, eventually you run out of tricks, and the Spurs are the better team. I predicted the Spurs to win. I said they'd win in 6, they won in 7, so it is what it is. That answers another question. Okay, question number 3. John, who are your top 5 receivers for the NFL draft? I'm glad this question was asked, because I was actually going to make a video about this. I'm going to go in order. Number 1, my top receiver for the NFL draft is Sammy Watkins from Clemson University. This guy's got incredible explosion. He runs solid routes, versatile. He can play in the slot. He can play on the outside. He's got amazing punt return and kickoff return skills. And he can do it all. The guy he creates a lot of separation on his routes. He's just a complete package. Nothing really concerns me about Sammy Watkins, so he goes number 1. My number 2 receiver for the NFL 2014 draft will be Mike Evans from Texas A&M University. I like his size and his hands, and he can go up and fight for jump balls and come down with them. I like that a lot. His routes are kind of sloppy, but you're not going to get, not every receiver is going to run perfect routes coming out of college. And he's the second best receiver. The only thing that concerns me with Mike Evans is he doesn't get a lot of separation like Sammy Watkins does, and he's got a tendency to drop some balls, but that can be fixed over time. My number 3 receiver, this one is going to surprise people, but my number 3 receiver is Marquise Lee from University of Southern California. I've seen this guy play for 3 years, and I can tell you that if he would have been eligible for last year's draft, we'd be talking about Marquise Lee going in the top 10. But this year, in a lot deeper wide receiver class, we've got 6 or 7 receivers that might go in the first round this year. Marquise Lee he doesn't stand out because of lack of production this year. He had some concerns with drops. He had some injuries, unstable quarterbacks. It's definitely a drop off in talent at their quarterback position, because Marquise Lee's freshman and sophomore year he played with Matt Barkley, and then last year Cody Kessler was their starting quarterback, and Marquise Lee didn't have nearly as good a season as his sophomore year when he had over 100 catches, 1,700 yards, and he had 17 touchdowns. He had a monster season and won the Biletnikoff Award, which is awarded to the top receiver in college football. So Marquise Lee is my number 3 receiver because I've seen film on this guy. I believe in him, and scouts, if he goes in the 2nd or 3rd round, he'll be the steal of the draft. Number 4 receiver, I'm gonna have to go with Kelvin Benjamin from Florida State University. I really like his size, and I think he's going to be good in the NFL. Not great, but I think he'll be good. I don't like his drops. I don't like his conditioning, but his upside is incredible. I wouldn't hesitate to draft this guy at the end of the 1st round. Top 15, no way. The risk factor is too high, and there's better receivers. But he could end up being the best receiver in this draft if he puts everything together. He's got a lot of talent, but hopefully he turns that into skill. And my number 5 receiver is going to be Odell Beckham Jr. from LSU. Again, just like Marquise Lee, I got to watch Odell Beckham play a lot. Really fast receiver, runs good routes, he's tough, he's physical, he can run back punts, he can run back kicks, very versatile player. The only concern with Odell Beckham I have is ball security and drops. He fumbled a couple times, especially in the 2012 game against the Florida Gators. In case you guys forgot, Zach Mettenberger threw it deep. I remember it was a 45-yard pass, and Odell Beckham was caught from behind by Matt Elam and stripped of the football. But other than that, he had a great career, and those are my top 5 receivers. So that answers your question. This is Jon Snow speaking from Jon Snow Sports and Fitness. Subscribe to the channel for the latest sports analysis, sports updates, fitness advice for athletes, and all things related to sports and fitness. Diamonds are forever, and so is Jon Snow. This is Jon Snow speaking. Peace out.